Hello and welcome back to My Favorite People, and thank you very much for watching this lecture video. I'm going to start a new chapter, which is going to be carboxylic acid and their derivatives. We will tackle the chapter with nomenclature first, and after that one, we will go through some chemical and physical properties of carboxylic acid and slowly learn how to take a carboxylic functional group and turn it to another one. And let's go after it. You've been dealing with carboxylic acid in your life a lot, and what's the reason behind it? Because the life that we know on Earth is a carbon-based life, and we breathe oxygen to survive. So that means there is a chance to have a chemical reaction between carbon and oxygen. And if that one happen, we will get alcohol, and we can take an alcohol and we can oxidize the alcohol. And if that one happen, we will maybe get an aldehyde or a carbonyl group. And if we run another step of oxidation, then we can turn it to COH or carboxylic acid. And this carboxylic acid, it can go another step of oxidation, and at the end, it will turn to CO2. So until there is a source of carbon and oxygen, we can have technically oxidation, or we can have a carboxylic acid. Okay. And I said in normal life, you've been dealing with it a lot. And one example is anytime you open a bag of chips, the sharp smell that hit you, that's vinegar or acetic acid. Or anytime, like you grab food from fridge, and let's say that food is, for example, butter or milk, and you smell weird thing. And that means there's high chance, that's food went through oxidation, and now you have acid in it. And then, for example, for butter, it can turn to butyric acid, or like milk, it can turn to lactic acid, which is a reason for technically getting sour milk. But one of the most common medicine that you heard it, and maybe you already taken some of it, and that's going to be the aspirin. Aspirin, it has two functional group. One is COOH, and the second one is going to be an ester functional group, or a carbonyl group that is attached to oxygen, and oxygen attached to another alkyl or aryl group. Now, in any country that has technically access to raw oil, you will see a bunch of refinement company there. The reason for it, they don't want to sell raw oil because it's going to be super cheap. And so that's maybe not the best way to take advantage of the oil. And we know methanol is one of the early molecules that we get through during refinement. But if we take methanol and just simply sell it, we're not going to really make much money. But we can run a chemical reaction with it and turn it to more expensive molecule or a precursor of other chemical reaction. For example, we can turn it to acetic acid plus vinyl, and at the end turn it to vinyl and acetate. And the vinyl acetate is a molecule that's it has a pi bond, and pi bond there, and because there is a pi bond there, we can technically run a bunch of nucleophilic addition reaction there, or technically do polymerization. And during polymerization, you take a bunch of molecules, like let's say they are identical, you attach them to each other, and you will get a chain of a molecule or longer molecule, or in that case, we call it technically polymer. And or like any iPhone or any phone that you have in your or you're carrying, and if you put like in the screen protector, or let's say you have a cover for it, that screen protector or the cover is made of plastic, and we know the plastic we got it actually from oil. And even then, in acetic acid, you can actually, instead of turning to vinyl acetate, you can take the terminal carbon that it is attached to 3 hydrogen, replace those hydrogens, the one I'm going to highlight, replace them by other molecules, like so by other atoms, let's say by fluorine, like a chlorine or fluorine or any other, like a good living group. And if you do it, now you can actually run a bunch of nucleophilic substitution reaction on that carbon, and while you have the carboxylic, functional group there. Okay, let's go after the nomenclature. And nomenclature is going to be really easy. And first thing that you need to know is that carbon number 1 is going to be a carbon that is carrying the technically or holding the COOH functional group. So this is going to be carbon number 1, and then I say 2, 3, 4. All right. I have to say this one, the parent chain or the main chain is going to be the chain that is carrying the carboxylic group. And always you give number 1 to a carbon that is holding the carboxylic functional group. So in this case, I have 4 carbons. I'm dealing with technically butane. And what you're going to do, you're going to take the E and replace it by OIC, and then you say acid. So this one, it will be butanoic, and then you say acid. Okay, we can have other functional groups or other substituent and technically make the nomenclature more a bit complicated, and we're going to practice those examples. But let's talk about cyclic. What will happen if the functional group is attached to a cyclic molecule? And in case of aldehyde, we say the way we name it, we want to say that we have a molecule that is made of carbon and is cyclic as well. So we said that we have a cyclic molecule, so we say cyclo, and for cyclic, and then we said hexane, and then we said carb. And this one is taking care of the fact that I have a ring made of 6 carbon. So I have a ring that is saturated and made of 6 carbon. Next step is that like I want to actually say that I'm dealing with aldehyde. And so what we did, we just simply we added aldehyde in front of the name, and we said it's going to be cyclohexane carbaldehyde. And that's going to fix the name actually. To give us the right name. For carboxylic acid, you can do the same thing, and this time you're going to say I'm dealing with a cyclic compound, so it will be cyclohexane, and then you will say I'm dealing with a carboxylic functional group, so I'm going to say I have a carboxylic, and then I say acid. Okay, so as you see, this part was added. And so I have a cyclohexane carb that stands for 6 carbon, and then I added OXY acid to say that I have a COOH functional group. Okay. Some basic carboxylic acid or small molecules that they have very common name that they've been used for a long time, and now they are adopted, and there's nothing wrong actually with using them. And for example, for formic acid, and we have a carbon that attached to carboxylic to oxygen and 1 hydrogen, we call it formic acid. And or if I want to go systematically, I'm going to say I have 1 carbon, so this one should be methane, and I need to get rid of the E, so I'm going to say I have 1 carbon, and then I say methanoic acid, and that's going to fix the problem for me. And for acetic acid, I have 2 carbon. Which carbon? Those 2 carbon. So I'm going to say I have ethane. Okay, I have ethane. I can get rid of the E. So let's get rid of the E, replace it by OIC, and then we're going to add acid to it. So it will be ethanoic acid. And for propionic acid, we have 3 carbons. And this one, it will be a propane. I will get rid of the E, replace it by OUC, and then I will say acid. So this one, it will be propionic acid. And for butyric acid is the acid that actually you can find it in butter, and is the reason that butter will smell like sour, tastes sour and smell something like it smell really bad, and is because of this acid. In this case, we have 4 carbons, so I'm going to say I have 4 carbons, so it will be butane, and I will get rid of the E, replace it by OUC, and I will say acid, butanoic acid. And last one, we have a phenyl that attached to carbon. Which carbon? This carbon, and the carbon of the carboxylic functional group. And there are 2 oxygen and hydrogen. The common name for it is benzoic acid, or you can actually go with the same thing that you did for cyclic molecules. So in this case, we said that cyclohexane and carboxylic acid. So I can say this one. This is a benzene molecule. And there is a functional group that's attached to it, one of the hydrogen atom replaced by the carboxylic acid. So now it's time to say carboxylic acid. That's another way to name it. And pretty sure if you Google this one, you will find a couple of names for benzoic acid.